one of the World Cup stadiums. Today we are going to get to know the NRG Stadium in Houston, which during the World Cup is being called the Houston Stadium due to FIFA's policies. It is a sensational stadium, enormous and with a lot of history, so shall we get to know it now? Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about a stadium that mixes American football, rodeo and international matches in the same space. It draws attention for its retractable roof, its history linked to the former Reliant Stadium, and for hosting events that changed the city for good. The stadium is located in Houston, Texas, in the United States, and is part of the complex known as Reliant Park, next to the Astrodome. It is a new stadium, quite recent, in fact. To give you an idea, its construction was completed in 2002 with a cost of $352 million, and the capacity is 72,220 spectators. An important detail is that it was the first NFL facility with a retractable roof, which placed the project on a different level from the beginning. During the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the stadium will be temporarily called the Houston Stadium, and after the tournament, the idea is for it to return to its name linked to the past, the Reliance Stadium. The story begins before the construction back in 1997, when the Houston group had the idea for the new stadium. The goal was to replace the Astrodome with a venue that had the feeling of an indoor arena, but without losing the open-air environment proposal. A project was created to cater to American football and also to the requirements of the rodeo. The groundbreaking ceremony took place on the 9th of March 2000. The structure was officially completed in October of 2001, and the entire construction took 30 months. The inauguration took place on the 24th of August 2002 with the preseason game between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans, won by the Dolphins 24-3. Shortly after, on the 8th of September 2002, came the first NFL regular season game at the stadium, with the Dallas Cowboys facing the Houston Texans and the Texans winning 19-10 in front of their home crowd. As for the first rodeo at the venue, it took place in February of 2003, and that helped to consolidate the idea of a stadium designed for multiple uses from the very beginning. On the 19th of March 2014, the stadium was renamed NRG Stadium in honor of NRG Energy, the parent company of Reliant Energy. More recently, in 2023, the Harris County judge symbolically renamed the venue the NRG Stadium Taylor version during the days of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, and in 2026, commercial signage began to be removed for the neutralization process required for the World Cup. In that same movement, NRG announced that the old names Reliant Stadium and Reliant Park would be restored after the tournament, with the new signage expected to be ready before the first game of the Texans' 2026 preseason. The design of the stadium was developed by renowned firms. The layout followed principles of kinetic architecture and sought a sense of transparency that appears quite prominently in the use of fabric on the roof and large glass areas. At night, the structure gains a very strong presence because it appears to glow from within. This use of glass also makes the corridors more open to the pitch, which gives the fan a more integrated view of the space. The retractable roof is one of the most striking features of the NRG Stadium. It works with two large panels that separate at the 50-yard line and sit over each end zone when they are fully retracted. The system uses 10 parallel 3-chord trusses sliding along 2 parallel tracks, all supported by a super truss 675 feet long. The operation is computer controlled in the press box with live images of the panel's trajectory and real-time feedback from all components. The roof can open or close in just 7 minutes, moving at up to 35 feet per minute inside the stadium. The organization of the spaces shows that it was made to receive different audiences without losing functionality. The text sent does not provide a fixed number of sectors in the traditional sense, but describes very distinct areas such as the large general seating area, the VIP sector, the boxes, the lounges, the bars, and the special section called the bullpen behind the north end zone. This north part is dedicated to the home team's most active supporters, and the fans there participate the whole time, singing, standing, and driving the energy of the stadium. Because the stadium was designed for varied uses, it can also be configured into a space of 11,600 square meters destined for meetings, special events, exhibitions, and concerts, the Houston Stadium has more than 7,000 VIP seats, in addition to 186 luxury boxes and several lounges and bars. There is no detailed division by sector with individual capacity in the provided material, nor a description of chairs versus concrete in each area. What can be safely stated is that the stadium works with an ample seating structure, refined in some areas and more popular in others, especially in the bullpen, and not with the composition of exposed concrete as the central element of the fan experience. The stadium has been the home of the Houston Texans since the franchise's foundation in 2002. The annual calendar usually includes 8 or 9 regular season games and 1 or 2 preseason games, in addition to playoff matches when the team qualifies. The first game in the Texans' history at the stadium was precisely that preseason friendly against the Miami Dolphins, and the first regular season game marked the victory over the Dallas Cowboys, which opened the house's competitive trajectory. In 1992, the stadium did not yet exist, but when the Texans started playing there, the construction was already born, linked to the franchise's identity. Among the most significant events that the NRG Stadium has hosted are Super Bowls 38 and 51. The first, in 2004, ended with a victory for the New England Patriots over the Carolina Panthers 32-29 in front of 71,525 spectators. The second, in 2017, became famous for being the first Super Bowl in history decided in overtime, with the Patriots beating the Atlanta Falcons 34-28 in a comeback that went down in league memory. The stadium also hosted the first playoff game in the Texans' history in 2012 when Houston beat the Cincinnati Bengals 31-10 beyond professional American football. The stadium became an important stage for University American football. It hosts the Texas Bowl and the Texas Kickoff, hosted games of the Big 12 Championship in 2002 and 2005, and was also the home of the East-West Shrine Game in 2007. Another remarkable moment was the Battle of the Piney Woods, which became a permanent fixture at the stadium starting in 2015. The NRG Stadium also hosted the College Football Playoff National Championship of 2024, closing the 2023 University American football season with Michigan vs. Washington. The rodeo is another soul of the place. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, also called Rodeo Houston, takes place there every year for 3 weeks in March. The stadium was prepared for this since the design phase, with a service area for livestock under the lower stand on the north side, loading and unloading space to receive both food and equipment and animals, and a 13-meter stage on the south end that can be moved to the center by a hydraulic system during the performances. It was this multiple use that kept the venue always alive without being stuck to a single sporting season. In football, the NRG Stadium has also built a very strong reputation. It hosts international spring and summer games, including CONCACAF Gold Cup matches between 2005 and 2011, friendlies for the United States men's national team and the Mexican national team. In several of these games, Mexico played practically as the home team, and the stadium also saw events such as the 2010 Major League Soccer All-Star Game, the 2016 Copa America Centenario, and matches of the 2024 Copa America. In 2025, it was the stage for the CONCACAF Gold Cup final, won by Mexico over the United States 2-1. Visual technology was also taken very seriously. In 2013, the end zone boards were replaced by giant digital screens, which at the time became the second largest of their kind in any professional sports arena, with a total of 1,351.6 square meters of screens. This was done to reinforce the experience of major events and help in the return of the Super Bowl to Houston. Later, this record was surpassed by other stadiums, but the NRG Stadium has remained among the most impressive in the use of video and signage. The stadium also went through difficult moments, such as the damage caused by Hurricane Ike on the night of the 12th to the 13th of September 2008. Part of the roof cladding came loose, there was wind and water damage in other areas, and several pieces of debris were found inside the facility. Even so, the administration reported that there was no significant structural damage beyond the roof. Texans' first home game that year was postponed. The stadium was reopened on the 5th of October 2008 and later underwent repairs made by the Real Group Americas on the 13th of February 2009. Houston Stadium has already hosted the Super Bowl, Rodeo, University American Football, games of the United States national team, World Cup games, concerts, and much more, and has its own identity. Did you like it? If you liked it, leave a like. Before I go, I am leaving another video in the card that is playing on your screen. Click and continue with us. Best wishes.